Charleston, a city steeped in a history as rich and dark as the tea-stained waters of its harbor, often whispers its secrets on the salt-laden breeze. You feel it the moment you step onto its cobbled streets, a pervasive melancholy that clings to the ancient brick and the Spanish moss draping from venerable oaks. It is a city of enduring beauty, yes, but also of profound sorrow, a place where the veil between what was and what is seems perpetually thin, almost translucent. Here, the past is not merely remembered, it breathes, it sighs, and sometimes it weeps. Among its many spectral inhabitants, one figure consistently emerges from the shadowed annals of local accounts, the weeping woman of Charleston, a classic archetype of profound, inconsolable grief, yet uniquely bound to this specific southern soil. Her alleged presence has been reported for generations, a mournful echo near the solemn grounds of the Circular Congregational Church, its ancient burial yard a silent testament to countless lives lived and lost within the city's embrace. To understand her sorrow, you must first comprehend the crucible that forged this city's spirit. Charleston endured an infancy marked by fire and pestilence, its early settlers facing a brutal existence where life was often fleeting and grief a constant companion. The very foundations of its grand houses and sacred institutions, including the Circular Church, were laid upon a landscape already saturated with the tears of pioneering women who buried their young beneath the nascent soil. The Revolutionary War brought a different kind of anguish, tearing through families and leaving indelible scars. Charleston became a strategic prize, besieged and occupied, its populace enduring starvation and oppression. Imagine, if you will, the desperate mothers, wives, and daughters who huddled in fear, their loved ones fighting or imprisoned, their children succumbing to disease or deprivation in a city under siege. The air itself, it is believed, became heavy with their collective lamentations. It is within this crucible of war and loss that the legend of the weeping woman began to solidify. Local accounts from the late 18th century speak of a spectral figure, often glimpsed at twilight near the Circular Church's graveyard, her form indistinct, her presence announced by the unmistakable sound of soft, ceaseless crying. She was not a haint of malice, but one of pure, unadulterated sorrow, a silent sentinel to the untold tragedies that unfolded around her. Many reported seeing her, a translucent figure cloaked in what appeared to be period attire, gliding among the weathered gravestones, her face perpetually obscured by a shawl or the very shadow of her grief. Those who allegedly encountered her felt an overwhelming wave of desolation, a sympathetic pang that resonated deep within their own hearts, as if they were momentarily touching the raw nerve of a centuries-old wound. The very ground around the Circular Church is said to hold the echoes of these early sorrows, a deep resonance that some sensitive individuals can still perceive. The thick, humid air of a Charleston evening, particularly after a sudden rain, can seem to carry a faint, almost imperceptible lament, a sound that is not wind, not insect, but something far more ancient and profoundly human. As the decades bled into the 19th century, Charleston continued its tumultuous journey. Devastating fires repeatedly ravaged the city, reducing entire districts to ash and leaving families destitute. Epidemics, particularly yellow fever, swept through its crowded streets with terrifying regularity, claiming thousands of lives, often indiscriminately, leaving behind a trail of unimaginable bereavement. Each wave of tragedy, from the Great Fire of 1838 to the relentless fevers, contributed to the deep reservoir of grief that allegedly anchors the weeping woman to this particular locale. She became, in the collective consciousness, not just one woman, but an archetype, a vessel for the countless mothers who mourned their lost children, The wives who buried their husbands, the daughters who grieved for entire families decimated by disease or disaster. Then came the Civil War, an epoch that tore the very fabric of the South, and for Charleston, it was a cataclysm. The city endured a 4-year siege, its grand homes bombarded, its economy shattered, its people pushed to the brink of endurance. The casualty lists grew long, and the Circular Church's burial ground, already ancient, saw a renewed influx of the fallen, each grave a fresh testament to the war's cruel harvest. During and after the Civil War, reports of the weeping woman intensified, particularly among those who had lost much. Eyewitness testimonies from this period describe her appearing more substantial, though still spectral, her weeping occasionally audible as a low, mournful hum that seemed to emanate from the very earth itself. She became a somber companion to the living, a reflection of their own despair. The legend of the weeping woman is a classic archetype found in many cultures globally, often a La Llorona figure, eternally mourning lost children. Yet the Charleston weeping woman is distinctly Southern, imbued with the particular gravitas of this region's history, her sorrow intertwined with the heavy weight of Gullah spiritual beliefs and the pervasive sense that the past never truly dies here. You sense it in the oppressive quiet of certain alleyways, the way the kudzu vines seem to choke the life out of everything they touch, a metaphor for the past's suffocating grip. The weeping woman, for many, is a haint, a restless spirit whose profound emotional burden prevents her passage, forever tethered to the place of her deepest anguish. The reported sounds associated with her presence are perhaps the most unsettling. It is rarely a shriek or a wail, but a soft, consistent, almost internal weeping, a sound that once heard is said to etch itself into the listener's memory. It is the sound of pure, unadulterated grief, a primal expression of sorrow that bypasses the intellect and strikes directly at the heart. Generations of Charlestonians have grown up with tales of this spectral figure, woven into the city's rich tapestry of folklore. For some, she is a cautionary tale. For others, a tragic symbol of the city's resilience in the face of relentless adversity. Her story is passed down not as a mere ghost story, but as a testament to the enduring power of human suffering and the places it imbues with its spectral energy. The specific location of her alleged appearances, primarily the Circular Church and its immediate vicinity, including the narrow streets and quiet courtyards that abut its ancient walls, suggests a deep connection to consecrated ground and the souls interred there. It is a place where prayer and lamentation have mingled for centuries, creating a potent spiritual resonance. Those who claim to have seen or heard her often describe a feeling of profound sadness, a sense of empathy that transcends the supernatural. They report no malevolence, no threat, only an overwhelming sense of loss that washes over them, leaving them shaken but strangely contemplative. It is a brush with grief so pure, it is almost sacred. The enduring mystery of the weeping woman lies not just in her continued alleged presence, but in the question of who she truly was. Was she a specific individual, a mother whose children perished in one of the city's many epidemics, or a wife who lost her husband in the brutal revolutionary or civil wars? Or is she, as many believe, a composite spirit, a manifestation of the collective grief that has permeated Charleston's very soul for centuries? Historical records, while detailing countless personal tragedies, offer no definitive name or face to match the spectral description. This anonymity only deepens the legend, allowing her to embody the unspoken sorrow of every woman who has grieved within these historic walls. Her identity remains shrouded, a testament to the countless unrecorded heartbreaks that shaped the city. The powerful connection between the legend and Charleston's past underscores how profound personal grief, when experienced within a city so historically dense and tragically rich, can indeed create an enduring spirit. She is a constant reminder that the echoes of suffering resonate far beyond the lifespan of any single individual, clinging to the very architecture and landscape of a place. You walk these old streets, past the wrought iron gates, and behind the high garden walls, and you cannot help but feel the weight of those unspoken sorrows, the silence of a moonlit courtyard, the rustle of leaves in a graveyard, the distant toll of a church bell. Each sound, each shadow, seems to carry the faint possibility of her presence, a melancholic promise that the past is never truly gone. The weeping woman of Charleston, then, is more than a ghost story. She is a living, breathing testament to the city's resilience, its capacity for profound sorrow, and its unwilling embrace of a history that refuses to be forgotten. She is the embodiment of a deep Southern truth, that some wounds never truly heal, and some tears, once shed, continue to fall, unseen but ever present. Her mournful vigil near the Circular Church serves as a poignant reminder that the grief of individuals can merge with the collective suffering of a community, creating a spectral presence that transcends time. It is a story of enduring loss, a classic woman archetype, forever bound to the hallowed, haunted grounds of a city that remembers every tear. So the next time you find yourself strolling through the ancient heart of Charleston, past the quiet dignity of the Circular Church, listen closely. Beyond the clip-clop of the carriage horses and the distant murmur of the harbor, you might just discern a faint, almost imperceptible sound, a soft, eternal weeping that has woven itself into the very soul of this historic southern city. And you will know then that the past in Charleston is still here.